Welcome back, America. We're talking with Senator Ted Cruz, his brand new fantastic book, Unwoke, How to Defeat Cultural Marxism in America. Very prescient. Covers all really that's going on in this country today. So my question is, does this administration actually demonstrate in its own actions, even in our own country, concern about citizens?
The exact opposite. They're interested in power and ideology, and that's consistent with cultural Marxism. Is about using culture to enforce through force and power their orthodoxy. When it comes to, you asked about the border. What is happening at the southern border is a catastrophe that has no precedent in the history of our nation. I was down at the southern border. I went out on midnight patrol with the Border Patrol agents. As always, within about an hour, you encounter illegal immigrants. It takes almost no time at all. We encountered a group of 20 to 25, mostly women and children. There was a 13-year-old girl. She was unaccompanied, had no family member with her. There was a 15-year-old boy. He was unaccompanied, no family members with her. There was a 16-year-old girl. She was unaccompanied. They all said they were going to see their tios. Tio is Spanish for uncle. Now, when we asked them, does your tio know you're coming? No. No, I just have a number. I'm supposed to call him. It was obvious these tios didn't exist, that these kids were being brought in and were being trafficked. What was most haunting, there was a little girl, a 10-year-old girl, who said she was traveling with her father, and her father was a man who was like 35 or 40, who was not her father. He had his arm around her, but it was not a gentle caress. It was almost like a headlock. He was holding her still and forcefully. The little girl was terrified. We asked about her mother. She just looked at the man she was with. What are we supposed to say on this? It was horrifying. You know, during the Trump administration, they would DNA test when a child arrived with an adult man and they claimed to be father and child. They DNA tested about 30% of them, it was a lie. About 30% had no biological relationship whatsoever. Joe Biden came in and ended the DNA testing. They don't want to know. And the cartels are literally renting children. Now, you ask, do they care? Are they compassionate? No. I was looking at these kids, and I was physically sick, Mark, because I was looking at teenagers. I have a 13-year-old daughter. I was actually standing there. It was just past midnight. It was the morning of my daughter's 13th birthday, and I was looking at that 13-year-old girl and thinking, my God, you're going to be trapped in sex slavery. And the Border Patrol agents can't do anything about it, because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Alejandro Mayorkas don't want them to do anything about it. It's evil. Like the argument that the Democrats are compassionate on immigration is insane. And then when you overlay the war in Israel, the risk of a terror attack today in the United States of America is greater than it has been any day since 9/11. And you mentioned the people that have been apprehended on the terror watch list, and more people were apprehended on the terror watch list than the previous decade combined, just last year. But, you know, that's not the number that worries me. The number that worries me is 2 million. We've had 8 million people cross illegally under Joe Biden. 2 million of those are what are called gotaways. So 6 million of them, the majority of them, were like this group we encountered that night. They go, they look for the Border Patrol agents, they turn themselves in. The 2 million gotaways are people that they spot, that they identify. Okay, we see them, but they get away. The gotaways are much, much more likely to be criminals, to be murderers, to be rapists, to be child molesters, to be gang members, to be MS-13, or to be terrorists. Just a couple of weeks ago, the San Diego office of the Customs and Border Patrol put out a written memo saying, be on guard for Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists crossing our southern border who will pretend not to be from Hamas and Hezbollah. And if you're a terrorist, you're not going to turn yourself into the Border Patrol. You're going to be one of the 2 million gotaways. And, you know, just a week ago, the head of the FBI was testifying in the House, and he said he was concerned about the risk of Hamas carrying out a terror attack here. I got to admit, that scares the hell out of me. Why? Because the FBI, and I talk about it in the book Unwoke, the weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI, The FBI and DOJ have been saying for 3 years, the greatest risk of violence in America is homegrown terrorism and white supremacists. Now, give me a break. Look, Nazis and Klansmen are idiots. They're bigots, they're morons, they're imbeciles. And they're unequivocally evil. But it's not like we're seeing a rising surge of Nazis and Klansmen across the country. This is made up in the fever dreams of the left. And they utterly ignore global jihadists that have declared a mission of murdering Americans. And the fact that the head of the FBI, Chris Wray, who both you and I know, suddenly said to the House, there's a real risk of Hamas carrying out a terror attack here, it made me think, holy cow, what does he know now that we don't know? Because something has changed, because 3 weeks ago he wasn't willing to say that publicly, and now he is. And that has me very worried that they have information that an attack could be imminent.
And on this point, when we come back, the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, doesn't even discuss it.
Nope.
Doesn't even think about it. The Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, says he's concerned about hostages, Americans, except when they're in Afghanistan. We have hundreds of people over there. We don't know what happened to them. That's as a result of his conduct. You never hear about them again. He pays $6 billion. I'm not going to engage in idiot talk about whether that means that Iran gets it or not. Iran wanted it and got it. That's the bottom line. Just weeks before what took place with Hamas. So he increases the price and the motivation for hostages.
Yep.
And now he's blaming Israel needs to back off so he can get him out. No, Hamas wants money. Don't forget, Unwoke, How to Defeat Cultural Marxism in America. This is a big-time book, ladies and gentlemen. I predict it's going to be one of the big books of the year. You ought to grab your copy. This is the first exclusive interview. You can get it on Amazon.com right now and any major bookstore starting on Tuesday.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.